So normally I like to say good morning, demons, but good afternoon. Uh, it is Sunday, November 23rd, 2025, if you can't read a calendar, uh, which I'm sure most of you can. Um, I am accompanied today by a good friend of the channel, um, CrimsonMel, or Melvin, as many know him. And I wanted to do what is time? Maeve, I'm going to smack you in the back of the head. Uh, it's not that kind of show today. So I saw Melvin gave me the opportunity to get him on the show, and I really got excited about the idea of having Melvin on because it's just, in my opinion, it just feels nice to have somebody on that you can just kind of hang out with and bullshit with and just talk about all of the stupid, crazy shit that, like, you just normally can't talk about on something like this. Uh, so, like, for example, we spent the first half an hour on the call, the reason why this started late, talking about guns. So, like we jumped in the call. My idea was to just jump in and start it, and then we just sat there for, a half an hour talking about guns. Oh, look, the wife is here. Hi. um, so, just one of those things. So, Melvin, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Having a rocky comeback in life and, just doing me. I'm kind of wishing I had another avocado sandwich now, but, it is what it is.
Oh, that's great. So wait, do you eat meat though, right? You're not a vegetarian, or
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was avocado turkey, I should say. But
Okay,
no, I am very much a meat eater. So give me some pork. We're good to go.
All right, rock on, rock on. Yeah, good old pork chop. I'm good. Pork chop. I'm good with that. I mean, pork chuck is a thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, I'm good with that. So, as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about just, whatever the hell's out there, right? So, the aliens, the occult, and then whatever the hell else. And I think I've been struggling on whether or not I wanted to go into this subject, but because we're putting our tinfoil hats on today, I should preface this episode by saying that. Please put your tinfoil hats on because there's going to be a lot of conspiracy theories in this episode. And we're probably going to confuse the shit out of each other halfway through it, and probably most of you. So be prepared for that. But the elephant in the room, I suppose, would be anima, man.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to go. So there's a comment that I got on one of my videos. The reason I'm bringing this up, right? So there's a comment that I got on one of my videos that I read, and I was like, this is actually really kind of interesting. Like this idea, right? Which is the only reason I want to continue talking about this. So bear with me here, right?
Okay.
So I just need to add in that and sort by newest, apply. Okay. Because I had replied to this comment. Okay, so here it is. So this is by Shayla Moon 82. Okay. And this is kind of like I apparently, I guess this person is in the check, I guess, by like how they've written this out. Mm-hmm. So what they mentioned in here, this is 4 days ago that they had written this down. So it says this obituary doesn't appear genuine. Several major inconsistencies point to fabrication. It contains no funeral service name or logo, which all Czech funeral notices include. The hall name, I don't know what they mean by hall name, but the hall name is incorrect for crematorium, whatever that word is, and then they actually put like what it's supposed to be, or what is not supposed to be, rather, is not the proper term. The notice omits the birth date uses unusual phrasing and doesn't match authentic Czech formats. The family roles and sign-offs are not culturally typical. Only a father with a different surname. The portrait is a stylized social media photo, not the type used in real Czech obituaries. The design is clearly an online template, not a professional funeral home notice. It claims the funeral was private, yet presents a public announcement, a clear contradiction. Additional inconsistencies people may want to be aware of says Anima was living overseas and was estranged from her family, according to her own statements. Yet within days of her alleged death, someone reportedly accessed her Gmail account and sent a death notification. The email was reportedly sent to a hand-picked selection of occultists, including some who were not on her mailing list at all. This is especially strange given the parents have publicly denounced the occult, making selective outreach to occult practitioners even more unlikely. Taken together, these issues raise serious doubts about the authenticity of the alleged death notice and the surrounding claims. So that was the one, that kind of, those kind of details were like, I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, like,
Well, I've said that I have that 1, maybe 2% doubt in me where it's like, is she really gone? And it is still weird things surrounding her death. I guess we'll just say death, but I can't explain all that. I mean, all of a sudden I got freaking blocked by her brother. I'm pretty sure I'm blocked by him. And the people I know in the Czech, when I asked if they could find an obituary, something more official, they didn't find anything. And that email is weird. And we both suspicious on how did you email us if we never emailed her from whatever account. It's one of those oddball things. And I don't know. It's just, like I said, that 2% doubt is still in me. And now hearing this, it might go up to 3%. But it's weird.
So, I mean, like, I think it's the selective emails that irritates you. Yeah. That's the thing that kind of like gets my goat too, is like, like just the fact that I got an email to like my current Gmail address that I use for Atius Dade. Because like when Anima and I were talking, like I said, Atius Dade didn't even exist. Like the name wasn't even a thing. And they wouldn't have known that she was following me because she had deleted her socials. Like
exactly
prior. So like there wasn't like outside of like if they went to YouTube and looked up the name Anna Minora and then seen like whoever was was interviewed by her or interviewed her and then decided to contact those people. But still, that seems like a little bit of like it seems like a lot of work.
Especially if you blame the occult for her passing or just taking her away from the family. It's weird. And I said this time I was on the show. This is something Anima would take thrill in, just the confusion and the mystery, like whether she's passed or not. She would get a kick out of this because that's just her personality. So it's one of those things. And we're never going to get
we're never gonna get
a solid answer.
Yeah, we're not.
But
well, even if she's passed, like I know for a fact she's in hell laughing at us. And I say, trust me, like I mean, as far as I'm aware, Anima wouldn't be upset with me saying she's in hell. So.
Oh no, she'll be giving you like some type of thumbs up or something like, yeah, I'm loving
it. It's so toasty. Right? So yeah, I mean, and despite all my rage, I'm still just a hail Satan. Yep, exactly, man. So the person's name, their screen name is despite all my rage, I'm still just and then they said hail Satan. So it's like, yes, despite all my rage, I'm still just a hail Satan. Yep, 100%. It's a
And
sentence in and of
Christ
itself.
be with you.
And Christ be with you, right? So yeah, I kind of, I guess, I mean, I was debating whether or not to open up with that, but like I saw that kind of list of things, and it's like, I mean, I can't confirm or deny like what is, um, accurate for a Czech obituary. I don't fucking know. And you know, I'm glad we did, what we did a couple weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago or was it last week? It was last week, wasn't it?
Pretty sure week before. Was it last week? No.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
last week,
yeah.
right?
It was last week.
Yeah, so last week, so on CrimsonMel from the video reviewing Melinda's book. Oh, yeah, Melinda. She's gone down in popularity though. Like she's nowhere near as popular as she used to be.
Well, I don't think she was ever truly popular. She just, it's credit to her, she put out a lot of content and she slowed that down tremendously. So I would say it's pretty much the same, because if you really want to dive into it with her, I think she has a core base that's probably never going to leave, but she never built upon that. And I think it's because folks who subscribe to her, for whatever reason, they see a couple of videos, then they may not unsubscribe, but they don't watch her content. So I don't think she's really moved the needle anywhere. It's about the same. Just what I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is like, I mean, you can turn YouTube into a business. You definitely can, but I mean, like you can't rely on YouTube 100%. Like, I mean, you have to, like, YouTube's more supplementary, like to like an actual target.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't figure out what that actual target is until after they create a YouTube channel. Or they help it to build like, so I follow a lot of photography and filmography YouTubers, and one of my favorites is Peter McKinnon. And Peter McKinnon started his YouTube channel just to do photography tips and tricks, right? That was it. And then he grew and created like his own kind of like clothing brand, and now he does like professional photography. Like, I mean, fucking, I think it was Red Bull had hired like, I don't know how many photographers to do like this really special photo during like a solar eclipse. And he was the one that got the photo that they ended up using in their advertising.
Oh, nice.
And it was like one of those types of photos that, like, you're not going to get another opportunity to recreate this fucking thing. Like, it's like, and it's like the two Red Bull planes like flying through the eclipse, and then like the eclipse being between the planes, but the lighting being perfect where you can still read the Red Bull on the bottom of the planes, but you can still see the eclipse. Like everything for that shot to work needed to be absolutely fucking perfect, which is why like Red Bull hired like a stupid amount of professional photographers. Like, you got like 200 people, at a fucking airport looking at the sky with their cameras trying to get the perfect shot.
Yeah, well, you play the numbers game. Something's going to give, right? That's what they say with dating as well. Single guy, just play the numbers game. Some girl's going to say yes.
Right. Just fucking ask everybody. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, eventually someone's going to say yes. But that is really cool. Like, one thing I do love about Red Bull, like their advertising, and when they're doing a stunt, they go full in.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that guy who was skateboarding down the world's largest ramp? It was Brazil.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I couldn't. No. Yeah, amazing, no. But no. Like, yeah, how do you?
The moment the camera kind of looks over the edge and you just see it just go like this, you're just kind of like, Um, like people that do parkour, man, like parkour. That oh god, like when they
My
jump between fucking buildings, or
yeah.
they just like hang. They climb up a construction site and they just start hanging off of fucking metal beams and shit, like 1,000 feet off the ground. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, I get adrenaline junkies. I understand it. Okay, you like the rush, but common sense. You know, my
Right.
parkour would very much look like something from The Office. Parkour, parkour, parkour.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. That's great. That's great. Yeah, no. I mean, I get people like I just think people that like are adrenaline junkies though. Like, I just think that there's something like miswired in the brain, right? Because the thing is that your brain has a natural like instinct to protect your body, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons why, like, self-harm is like for most people, like it's a hard thing to do, right? Because your brain says, nope, can't do that. Like, right.
Yeah.
There's like a kill switch, and your brain goes, no.
Well, maybe they mastered something because, for instance, when you're a race car driver, like that same thing kicks in where it's like, hold up, we can't go this fast, something's wrong, and you have to mentally tell yourself, we're doing it. Throw out all the safeties to go up to 150 to 250 miles an hour and all that. So they might just be able to shut that fail safe off and just do it. And the
Yeah.
rush, the rush beats any type of safety whatsoever.
Yeah. Dirah says in the chat, she's like, I personally preferred being an actual junkie.
Oh,
It's like, damn.
all right. Well,
Like, man, I mean, I watch it because like it's the same reason. Like, I'm arachnophobic. Like that for me, that's me being an adrenaline junkie, is watching some videos about spiders. Like that's as far as I can go. Like, I
you see,
couldn't.
you can't tell me stuff like this because in my sick, twisted mind, I'm like, well, I'm going to send you some spiders or something. Like I will do something in the future. You'll forget about it. I won't. And all of a sudden, like it could be years from now, we might say, hey, you know what? Let's meet up. Like, sure, I will wear a shirt with a spider, like shake your hand with a spidery, just something. Then, no, I'll end up getting punched.
Probably. Like, so being in Mexico, right? So the whole punching thing, right? This is relevant. So being in Mexico, like you learn, like when you're walking around, you kind of have to watch your back most of the time, right? You don't walk around with headphones on, stuff like that, so you can always pay attention. You can always hear what's going on around you. So I remember being in England with Dirah, and so Dirah and I, Louis, lived in a really small town in the south of England, right? So we were living in like this little cottage in a small little village or like town there, and they're like it's safe, right? People walk around with their headphones all the time, stuff like that. I remember we went to the pharmacy, and there's just some random dude jogging, but all I heard were like heavy footsteps with speed behind me. And I swung around like with my elbow out to get this guy in the face. Dirah had to grab me. It's like, no.
You know what? I sort of understand where you're coming from because I'm from Compton, and there was a time
You definitely
where I
understand where I'm
was
coming from.
yeah, I was walking down the street and I hated going out, and I remember hearing footsteps and I was like I was gearing up to kick somebody. It was an older woman just doing her exercise, but man, Granny was about to be laid out. So
Right?
I get where you're coming from. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad too. I mean, the guy didn't even notice, right? Like what was going on. Like he was in his own world, right? So thankfully, right? Like so there's no like conflict there, right? So like he just kind of like looked at me weird and just kind of kept jogging, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but
Oh, what's wrong with you, dear sir? Come on.
so you know, it's just like I'm just I don't think I like even in the States, man. Like you know, growing up in like upstate New York and then you know going to school in New York City and stuff, like I'm not used to you know being safe. I mean, have you seen the news recently? Right. So like a few months ago, some poor refugee woman got the shit stabbed out of her, right? And then like a few days ago, somebody just randomly doused somebody else, like somebody in gasoline and fucking caught her on fire. Like
Good
why?
Lord.
Why? Why? Like
People are crazy.
right? Right? And the thing is what irritates the shit out of me is everybody wants to make this thing about race, right? Like and this is against the right, guys. This is against the right side of things, right? So the first girl that got stabbed, right? The girl was white, the guy was black. I don't care, right? The color. Some dude stabbed some woman that was just on her phone, and then some
Yeah.
other dude doused another woman that was on her phone in gasoline and caught her on fire. It's like what the fuck?
Yeah. I want to say the woman who was stabbed, I think she was Ukrainian.
Yeah, that's it. She was Ukrainian
And
because I know she was like a
yeah.
refugee. She had refugee status. That much I do know, right?
Yeah. So, no, it goes beyond race. It's you're crazy and you should
Yeah,
not be on the streets unsupervised or something.
yeah.
And, but that also is one of the issues with this country. We don't take mental health as seriously as we should.
Mm-hmm.
I really, I mean, boy, we just neglect it and we suck at it. And it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. Throw them on Skid Row. If you're in the West Coast, you'll know what Skid Row is and
Yeah.
be done with it.
Yeah, no, and
And
it's just sad though, like because the whole point of this, mentioning this, right, is the whole safety thing, right?
yeah,
Like now you can't even be on public transportation, like you know, on your own fucking, you know, on your phone, like
no.
fucking. There's dipshits in England. They're throwing acid in people's faces, you know, like because they can't have guns apparently. So like I mean, you know,
Oh, so
um,
they throw acid?
yeah, yeah. So they'll stab the shit out of you. They'll throw acid in your face. You know, stuff like that. You know, good times. And it's just like,
Yeah,
what the fuck is wrong with people? And it's like the whole gun problem. It's not a gun problem. It's a mental health problem, right? One of the things, like you
yeah.
know, talking to Melvin at the beginning, like you know, about guns. You know, I miss owning a gun. I miss. It was funny though. You should have seen that conversation when like so there was like a birthday party that Dirah and I went to in England for like one of her I guess one of her nephews or cousins or something, and and we started talking about guns, and there were so many members of her family that were just kind of like, really? It's like, well, yeah. Right, and like
Oh,
it's like even
that's
like even
funny.
some Americans, like I tell them I've been shooting guns since I was 7. They're like, oh. It's like what? Like just because you're
Yeah.
afraid, like you can't pretend this shit doesn't exist. It's like a nuclear bomb, right? Like you know, atomic power as a weapon has been unlocked. You know, the cat's out of the bag. You can't put it back in. You know, it's not going anywhere. It's
No, it's
not.
not.
Pretending
And
it doesn't exist or pretending like you can make it like it doesn't exist isn't going to make it not exist.
no, it unfortunately it goes to the few spoil it for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And, which I can understand why people would be kind of freaked, but at the same time, it's, come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yeah. And you know, and the thing is like I had a friend once. I was in a debate with a friend a while back, a couple of years ago. No, longer than that, maybe 3-4 years ago. And we were talking about the whole gun thing. And I said, look, I mean, I was one of those kids, like the way that I look now is pretty much how I looked in high school, right? And so I was one of those kids. I got bullied like a motherfucker when I was a kid. I used to pick fights with bigger people, right? And this was because so I have an uncle that is a career criminal and spent most of his life in and out of prison. And he gave me the wonderful advice of treat school like prison. Find the biggest, baddest motherfucker you can, lay him the fuck out so nobody else fucks with you. And so, like, I kind of took that advice to heart, but I didn't stop, right? Like, you know, like I would usually get my ass laid out, but like, I mean, I would, you know, pick fights and get my ass kicked. And point being, not once, ever in my entire life had it ever crossed my mind to shoot these people. Like it never entered in my mind as even a remote possibility. Right? Because I mean, I was brought up, I think, with good education around firearms. You know, like
Yeah.
my grandfather told me straight up, he's like, you see this? This doesn't get pointed at anything unless you intend to kill it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's two things. One, different times. Two, you're not a coward. I mean,
You're freezing up again there,
get beat
bud.
down is hard. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
It's
I thought we
okay.
had it fixed. We don't. But it's hard to get beat down. It's hard to beat someone down. It's you know, it's hard. It's very easy to get a gun. Boy, it's scary how fast you can empty a handgun. Like
Mhm.
you don't even realize it. But to, you know, get your fist up and just put in that work, it's
Yeah.
difficult.
So
And you can't be a coward.
and the point that I was going towards is, so this friend of mine had said to me, he's like, well, you're an exception, not the rule. And it's like, I'm sorry, no, like I'm the rule. Because the thing is if I was the exception, there would be a lot more school shootings, because with the amount of people that get bullied in school, in high school, like, I don't know if anyone remembers what fucking high school was like unless you were one of the popular kids, but it's a fucking crucible, right? Like being different and wanting to be different or choosing to be different and being in middle school and high school is a fucking crucible. Kids are fucking vicious. They are savage little shits. And, you know, they do not care about other kids' feelings most of the time. So if I was the exception, um, I think there'd barely be any kids left in the United States. You know, so
Well, okay, holy cow. I mean, is that really a bad thing now? No. Um,
damn.
you know,
That's gonna
you
get clipped.
you mentioned something though, and like why are people going around answers were crazy? But I kind of want to take this into a spirituality look. And are you familiar with the yugas from Hindu mythology?
A long time ago. Refresh my mind, my memory.
Okay, so the cycle of the yugas, you have, and I'm going to butcher these names, so forgive, the Krita, the Treta, the Vepara, and Kali. And these are supposed to be cycles of high life, basically man being at their highest spiritual peak to their lowest. Currently, and this is what I believe we're in Kali Yuga, which means we are furthest away from God, if you want to look at it that way. We are at our spiritual low point. And because of that, we aren't looking inward to learn about ourselves or use our own abilities. We are allowing outside forces to dictate our actions. And because of that, it's creating chaos. It's causing chaos because we are in the darkest time. And just from a spirituality, that could be why people are acting out and acting up, because they're not connected to the things they're supposed to be connected to, since we're at the low point.
Angel, yeah, it sounds very much like Jungian aeons, right? Or like the astrological ages, yeah. It does sound very. I mean, astrological ages, like, or like the precession of the age of the ages, right? Like, I mean, um, I don't know if it would really line up with that, but like the Jungian concept, yeah, definitely. But I mean, I have a tendency to agree, but I also think that that is happening because of where we're at in society. So I think we understand, psychologically speaking, that humans were never designed as tribal creatures to have as much contact with other people as we currently do. And when I say contact with other people, it's like contact with other cultures, other ideas, other, other fundamentals, like, fundamentalist ideas, all of these things. We're not designed to, our brains are very powerful organs, right? Like almost computers. But our brains also have a very specific job, right? So your brain has a lot of power to it, but that power, okay, is, you know, dependent like on what your brain is doing on a day-to-day basis. Blinking, breathing, right? Like processing taste, processing smells, processing sound, processing touch, processing all of these things, right? Our brains are very much occupied, right? And so we are overstimulating ourselves to a point of just utter disintegration, right? Like, we're not, like, social media, for as much benefit as it was supposed to have. It's just thinking about the name change. It used to be social networking. These were social networks, Facebook, Instagram. That's what they called them. They called them social networks. That name very gradually changed, and with good reason. It's no longer social network. They're no longer social networks. It's social media, which is highly different than a social network. Networking is to connect, right? With the intention of connecting to other people and growing kind of like the base of people in your circle and finding people that have similar ideas to yourself and, I don't know, creating, weird, D&D campaign with Pickle Rick or some shit, something, right? Whatever crazy fucking thing that you can think of, there's probably a small group of people out there that think the same thing or are interested in the same thing. That was the initial basis. Now it's media is marketing. Media has nothing to do with social connection. And it has leaned very hard into the worst parts of human psychology, which is not just the serotonin and the dopamine hit from the usage of social media, but the fears that most people live in consistently, constantly, and perpetually every single day, right? The idea is we want, even people that don't use social media for business still fall into the trap of wanting to have the most followers, the most likes. Think about it like MySpace back in the day, like the OG, right? Like, you would see people that, like, your followers, your subscribers were called friends. You would see people that have 20, 30,000 friends. And then you would look at your friends list and be like, I only have 15 people. And then you would feel like less of a person because that person had 30,000 people commenting and looking at their shit all the time. And you only had 15. You weren't grateful for the 15 people that were following you, even if Tom was one of them, right? You wanted more. And then we just kind of perpetuated that, grew onto it, and started stacking it. And now social media is probably one of the most toxic fucking things that a human being has contact with. And you want to talk about mental health. There is no regulation or investigation into potential regulation of social media and what social media is doing to the human psyche. It's fucking with us in a really bad way. I mean, think about it. Like, I see people that cannot go half an hour without looking at their fucking phone. Like, it's so sad to me, like, when you get a family at a dinner table and everybody's sitting there on their fucking phone. It's like, put the fucking phone down.
It's excuse me, it's a control thing, and it's by design. And it's to keep you plugged in away from the real world. And put on your tinfoil hats, folks. Let's get them back out. And it's to literally lose your humanity, your ability to converse, to bond with someone who's right across the table from you, because you have to see what Stacy is doing and what the latest trend is. So you could be popular, and on top of that, and you lose your individuality and you become a sheeple without even realizing it. And I feel it's by design. And yeah, you're right. It messes us up. As good as social media, social networking, whatever you want to call it, as amazing as it is, it definitely comes with a price. And the price is losing your reality.
Well, the thing is so as somebody, and I will say this, so as somebody that professionally works in social media marketing, I will say that the one thing that I tell my clients is the internet has a different price than a dollar sign. So there's so much information and there's so many things out there on the internet that a person's attention is the price, is the currency that is being used. You want attention online. If you want attention online, and I'm giving you this information for free, guys. Like I charge people to tell them this one fucking like paragraph, sentence, whatever. I'll charge people $200 for this, right? Whatever you're putting out there, you need to give people value in whatever it is that you're putting out there, so people feel like they're getting something from following you. People will not just follow you because they think you're cool, right? People will follow you and listen to what you're saying if they feel like they're getting value from you. Why do you think like Gary Vee has so many followers as somebody that just runs some basic fucking businesses? Because of the amount of value people feel that he's putting out there. Is it really valuable? Maybe, maybe not. That's for you guys to decide. But he has so many followers because of that, right? It's and most of it, people follow him for the motivational shit. Right? So, what is the biggest thing that people need online? Think about this. Psychologically, think about this. The easiest way to get people to follow you and like your posts and engage with your posts is to be motivational. Be motivational.
Oh, my mind went completely elsewhere. Oh boy.
Make people feel. You just
Ooh.
went. Why do you look like Hulk?
Wow. I don't know. Hold up. Let's fix this. Wow.
See, look, the internet gods are fucking with us now. So the easiest way to get people to follow and engage with your content is to be motivational. Give people something that makes them feel like they're being pushed, but in a positive way. Because most people that spend most of their time, their free time online, feel undermotivated. They want something out of their life that they can't get by themselves, or they feel like they can't get by themselves. And so when you start putting those little phrases on your posts that make people feel like, yes, I'm powerful, that becomes an addiction. They want to see it. They'll start saving your post. Why? Because they want to go back and see it again. They want to feel that again. They want to say, oh, this resonates with me. It's really easy to make content that resonates with people, and that's the dangerous part if you understand the demographic of people that are usually online. And creating online content that is engaging and potentially viral is, for lack of a better term, is predatory. You have to turn yourself into a predator of a certain kind to make sure that people engage with your content and continue to engage with your content while online. And what do I mean by predatory? Predatory in the sense that they have a weakness, or what could be perceived as a weakness, and you are capitalizing on that weakness. motivational posts, like, I don't know, you guys scroll through Instagram and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen like Valergy and, you know, pages like that, Mentality, right? These are perfect examples, right? And, you know, I'm not innocent. Because I understand this shit, of course I fucking do it. Like, look at the stuff that I post on Instagram. Look at the stuff that I post on TikTok. I post occult-based motivational shit. Hopefully, maybe somebody will see it and they'll feel motivated and actually do something positive with their life, you know? But at the end of the day, what is it doing? It's predatory. It's capitalizing on people's psychological weakness. Because if you are obsessed with social media and you can't stay off of Instagram, you can't stay off of TikTok, and you're constantly doom scrolling, you are the exact person that I'm targeting. And so is Valergy, and so is Mentality, and so is everyone else. So as someone that works in social media, I'm just gonna be completely honest. Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You know,
Well,
and
you're using the tools that's available to. Also, on the other side is also that person's responsibility to kind of let it click and realize, like, maybe I shouldn't follow so many things, or maybe I should go touch grass or something. I mean, I'm sure there's a motivational post that says, go touch grass, you know, and then someone will say, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Why didn't I think of it sooner? But, you know, and I can't really yap too much on the social media stuff because I forget I have it to begin with. So, you know, and I'm not on it too much, but I do see those posts, and you know what you're saying, it makes sense. It's interesting hearing it from your side, but I do think responsibility also is on the person who's viewing them and wants to keep seeing them. Although if it can lead to something positive, then I don't know. I think it's your intent that matters behind it.
well, I mean,
You know,
I'm reminded. So the funny thing is I'm always at a catch-22 when it comes to intention, right? Because as an occultist, intention, we know as occultists in general, our intention is extremely important when we go into ritual, when we do spells, things of that nature. We know that intention, our intent, what we want to happen, is extremely important. But I do find truth in that age-old phrase that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You know, and so I agree with both of them, but I've always been on a catch-22 with it because I completely agree with the idea that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and sometimes you can have the best intentions and still fuck shit up royally, right? But at the same time, right? Like, you know, it's like we kind of confuse ourselves societally speaking with this, because if you think about it, what do we say for Christmas gifts? Like, if somebody buys you something for Christmas that's absolute shit, and like you're like, I really don't fucking like this, right? You're not gonna say that, right? You say, what is it? It's the intention that matters. It's the intent that matters, right? It's the idea of the intent that matters. Somebody thought of you. Okay, so I think as a society, we're constantly kind of in this ebb and flow of it, is the intention worth it? Is it not? Does it matter? What's more important, the intention or the outcome? Right? Because that's kind of like, I think, where we kind of get stuck, right? Like, so I can
yeah.
say that I'm posting with good intentions, but does my intention matter, or does the outcome matter?
You know, I don't think there's an answer to that. But look at it this way. Can you sleep at night?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then. If you can sleep at night, so that's what matters in the end. And I'm going to reverse Uno card you as well on the Christmas gift. So it's interesting because it goes two ways there. If you're a little kid, chances are, if you get something that sucks, you might not have a filter and you say, well, this sucks. What is this?
Right, true.
And you gave me this junk. But, and this would be some 4D chess, there could also be someone who intentionally gives you a horrible gift just to make you sweat and force you to say something nice because you're not going to say something rude 9 out of 10 times when you Eve said gift because you think it's their intention to give you something good, but really they're giving you something terrible. So it goes both ways with that.
Yeah.
Intent can be used to manipulate, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree with that. You know, so I mean, I've always thought, like, philosophically speaking, like, I mean, that's it's a bit of a paradox, the whole intention thing, right? Because you know, if you do something with a good intention without seeing, you know, obviously hindsight's 20/20, right? But so without having, you know, that foresight, you know, and things and horribly, you know, I guess it emotionally doesn't really matter what your intention was because it still came out shit. So yeah, I don't know. It was always an interesting concept to me, that, because the thing is I've said both, right? On this show, I've said both. I've said, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but I've also said, like, I've been a proponent of intention because we understand that, you know, in the occult, intention is is the only thing that matters when in ritual, right? Or like when you're practicing magic, is like your intent is what's going out to create that manifestation. So it's like, how can something that is so important and so key to the cornerstone of our spiritual beliefs, you know, also be the very thing that can also be kind of like our undoing? And it's a very interesting thing to kind of look at. Also, this is why I believe that, you know, karma isn't something that comes back and bites you in the ass, right? Like instinctively, like, or inherently, like, it's not something that, like, the universe sends after you, but you create it, right? Which I think is I think it's Hindu. I think it's the Hindus think of it, like, look at this way as well, is that you create your karma. So if you do something bad and you feel guilty for doing something bad, that guilt will create a punishment for the action, right? You will create that karma. But if you do something bad and you don't give a shit, you don't feel any guilt for that action, then you're fine. Like you said, can you sleep at night? Yeah. So that's the only thing that matters. So if you can, you know, sleep at night, you know, fucking people over all day, you know, then, you know, there's no karma for you.
You're describing more dharma than karma. And it depends on which sect of Hinduism you're talking about, because they have 4 different main sects. But how you're describing it, it's more like dharma. And for me, okay, so a lot of folks in the West, they don't know what dharma is. They usually think Dharma and Greg. And I mean, it's true. So the best way I can explain it is dharma is path. That's what you walk. Karma is the boundaries that keep you within that path. If you stray off your path, that's when karma kicks in. So people who usually ask, why does it seem like people who are bad or evil, good things happen to them? Happen to good people? Well, the good people aren't walking their dharmic road, their life path. They're too busy looking at someone they consider a jerk getting or receiving gifts from the universe, if we want to go down that route. And because they're not walking their path or living their life, karma kicks in and it slaps you to try to get you back on your path. Whereas the evil person, bad guy, whatever we want to call them, it might be their life path to just be a giant jerk, and they are living their life not what happens outside of their karmic boundaries, outside of their life path. If you can't control it, if it's not a part of you, it has nothing to do with you, sometimes you just can't worry about it. And that's where a lot of folks who have good intentions make their mistake. You can't save everybody. You have to first do for you, save yourself, do for you. And then if you can help, help. But it's okay to keep on going forward.
Mm-hmm. So I just looked this up. So if we look at the idea of the concept of karma, so early Hinduism, karma is, or was rather, mechanical, not moral. So actions creates consequences, not divine judgment, just cause and effect. So that was later kind of added, like guilt was kind of added because you know, we as human beings, we love fucking guilt, don't we? Buddha or Buddhism kind of sharpened that concept. So karma is intention. So your mindset creates momentum. So you don't get punished by the universe, you get punished by your own patterns, right? No, there's, again, so with this concept, there's no guilt requirement, just psychology before psychology actually existed. Jainism, or Jainism, Jainism. Jainism. So same idea, but more hardcore. Every action leaves a residue on the soul. Nobody hands you a bill. You carry your own weight. And then we look at Western occultism, or Blavatsky theosophy, right? So kind of like, so that kind of imported the Eastern idea and scrubbed out the religion. Karma becomes a self-inflicted feedback loop. Your choices shape your reality. So again, no cosmic judgment, and you know, obviously no cosmic mommy or daddy complex there. And then modern psychology, cognitive behavioral theory, basically says the same thing with, obviously, you know, we take away the incense and the candles and shit, right? You know, your beliefs, habits, and choices shape the results you get. So consequences, a consequence follows behavior. The guilt part's, I guess, apparently optional. And then finally, like we go into the left-hand path. This is you know, this is my shtick, right? So you look at Crowley, Ford, right, Aquino, right, and the whole DIY soul crowd, right, reframed karma as self-creation, which is, I guess, kind of like where I'm kind of coming from with it, right? Is like you build your fate through will, not divine bookkeeping. So no moral scorecards, just only the architecture of your own choices, right? So you kind of create your own karma as you go through, right? So it's kind of like, so to kind of shorten all of that, you're not punished for your actions, you're punished by your actions. So, and if you feel guilt, the consequence hits, it usually hits harder. And then we label that as karma. So I think that's kind of like where I come from, is like, you're not punished for your actions, you're punished by your actions. So the things that you do are the things that inevitably, like, again, the cause and effect concept, right? You do something shitty, you know, you have a possibility of, you know, that coming back to bite you in the ass, right? Like, you know, an extreme example, if you steal something, you get caught, you're going to get arrested, right? So,
I mean, that's just common sense in life.
Most things are, dude. Most things are and should be, but for some reason aren't.
Yeah, well, common sense isn't common. But yeah, so I'm more so on the side of pretty much just live your life as best as you can, and worrying about other people, things outside of your control, that's what gets you in trouble. Because you're giving them your energy and your fortune, your time, instead of spending it on yourself. In other words, be more selfish.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is like, it's not even like necessarily being selfish, right? Like, especially
Yeah.
like if you're looking to like take care of your family, stuff like that. Make
Yeah.
sure, because I've always said, like, this is something I constantly repeat. It's like you need to make sure that you're in a good position before in your life before you can decide to try to make sure anyone else is in a good position in their life, because if you're not, you know, in a position where you can take care of yourself, how can you ever possibly imagine taking care of someone else? You know, like you just can't. I mean, now, you know, are there situations and circumstances that people are going to throw at me? Well, like, you know, if you look at like, well, what about a family, and, you know, everything goes to shit, and, like, you know, you don't have a job anymore and whatever. It's like, okay, shit happens, right? But this is talking about the idea of going into a situation to take care of someone else when you are incapable of taking care of yourself. Like, you don't do it, because
No.
you can't give anyone else anything if you don't have anything for yourself. You know?
And it's also, it goes to being able to say no as well. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to say no, I can't do it. Even if you know, we all might want to help someone or help where we can, but we just can't. Like you were saying, you're not weak to say no. You have no reason to feel guilty for saying no. Everyone has their reasons. You don't need to explain the why. Just say no and move on.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God,
100%.
what is with this camera?
What is with your internet connection? Like, see, I'm trying to ignore it.
Yeah,
The fact that you keep like freezing, like, and
I
chat's doing such a, like, they're being so respectful. Like, nobody's mentioned like the amount of times that you freeze up.
well, I appreciate it. I don't know. Like, it's so weird. All of a sudden, it was working perfectly fine. Every other day, I was speaking with someone earlier. Fine. You? Nope.
uh, it's probably my karma, isn't it?
It could be.
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't really think there's anything much else that we can say about that subject, is there?
Probably not.
You know, I mean, you know, I mean, I think I've said everything that I think I can say about it. You know, about, you know, karma and stuff like that. I mean, I never thought about the Dharma thing. You know.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Most people in the West, like I said, they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know Dharma. Just continue looking at Dharma and Greg. You got it. You're good to go.
Right. Right. You know, I don't know. Oh, you know, just changing the subject a little bit. There's another comment that I got because we were talking about comments, right?
Mhm.
Somebody put somebody, because I was talking about like freedom, right? Like kind of like being free of like with your own energy, stuff like that. Like, you know, talking about how, like, in my opinion, Lucifer kind of, you know, opens up that, you know, that pathway of like energetic freedom. Um, and you know, they left a comment and they're like, let me see if I can pull this up really quick, because I just thought it was fucking hilarious. Because it's like, it doesn't make any sense, like what they're trying to put down. I'm just kind of like, huh? Like, so just, you know, to be a jackass, I did respond to it. I did. Um, you know, let's see here. Two. Where are you? All I know is like it was something. It's like, how free are you? ... I can see your hat, and I'm like,
What?
yeah, like the hat that I'm wearing right now, because I was wearing this hat when I was recording it, and so he's like, yeah, it's like, how free are you? I can see your hat, and I'm just like, I responded, I'm like, congratulations, you're not blind. Like, here's a cookie, and I put a cookie emoji. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
was that a gotcha of some sort? Like,
I don't understand that. What?
some people need cookies.
I'm very confused.
I was
Wow,
just like,
that's.
no, dude. Some of the
I mean,
comments I get, man. Some of the comments I get are just like fucking buttes. Like, they really are. Like, you know, like, another person. What's wrong with the hat? I don't know. I don't know. They didn't elaborate. And then like another comment that I had gotten.
Need to restart everything.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. So another comment that I had gotten was what was it? It was the same thing about the hat, right? It's like, you know, it's like, oh, you're trying to hide your identity. It's like, have you not seen some of like my other videos where I'm just wearing a beanie and some glasses? Like, hide my identity. Like, of course, like I'm trying to, like, I don't want people to know, like my legal name is not out there in the internet, like for a very specific reason, but like I'm not hiding. It's a flat brim fucking hat. The camera is above my hat, right? So I'm not looking down, right? Like I know it kind of looks like I am, but I'm not. Like I'm looking straight at my monitor. But the thing is because of where the camera is right here. It's above my head. So the camera's lens goes to here, not here. Like, so it's like, what happened to logic? Like, where did it go? The hat is your chains. Sorry, the hat is my chain. Do you know how hard it was to get this hat? And this wasn't even the one that I wanted, right? So the one I wanted had Lucifer sigil on it, which I thought looked really cool, and I wanted it in red. But by the time the guy fixed his website so he could ship to Mexico, he sold out of the Lucifer ones. So I bought this one, right? And so for those that don't know, this is from Ink Poisoning Apparel. Same thing with the shirt that I'm wearing. Okay, Ink Poisoning Apparel. And I would show you what's on the back of the shirt, but that's too much of a pain in the ass. I would buy the sigil hat guaranteed, right? That's what I wanted, right? That's what I wanted. But I figured, fuck it, I'll go with this because I've seen other ones online, but it's not as big. It's like it's really fucking small. It's like that, right? And like I wanted it big, right? And this still is not as big as I would like it. But yeah, he sold out of the sigil ones, and he has no intention of apparently restocking them. If I see them, now that I know I can order from them, if I see it come back, I will order it. But Melvin has returned.
Okay, I think we might have fixed the issue.
Okay, cool. Maybe just kind of overheated.
Well, no, it's just I couldn't tell you, but I think we should have it fixed. But I'm sorry about that, and sorry to the chat. Like, you guys know, I don't like vanishing or tech issues, which always seem to pop up. But
no, it's all good, man. It's all good. It happens. You know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, so, you know, I guess this is part of freedom.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so it doesn't look like they have the Lucifer one back in stock. I mean, they've got the Lucifer one in black, but it's like a black on black design, and I didn't want that. And the one that I'm currently wearing is also out of stock, the white one, the black and white one. But yeah, the black and red Lucifer cap was really cool. But yeah, so I mean, apparently, I guess my hats might change because yeah, somebody else. I was mentioning when you bounced out that somebody else had made another comment about like me trying to hide my face and me looking down. It's like I'm not looking down; I'm looking straight at my monitor. It's just because my camera is above my monitor, so the angle comes down, so it looks like I have my head down. But it's like, I mean, I'm not like recording like this. Like this is my head down. Like I'm not doing this. I'm looking at my monitor. Like, it's like I just like. So. Are people really that dumb? Radioactive green was cool, yeah.
Not dumb, just being jerks.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's like I see your hat. It's like, okay, thank you. I mean, that's kind of the idea of me wearing it, right? That's why I got it. Like I do an occult show, right? I do multiple occult shows. So it makes sense for me to have a hat or merchandise that I'm wearing that correlates to the subject matter that I'm focused on, right? Hence the rings. Can you see my rings? Look at that. There's something else for somebody else in the comments section. I saw your rings. It's like, good. I'm glad.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, next is going to be your tats, and a couple
Right.
other stuff. So it's just weird. I don't know. People are weird, and we all have our quirks. I think that's the best way of putting it.
Right. Oh, and I've also got the comments on TikTok, like apparently, like, so the Christians like to come at me, like the Christian conservatives, they like to come at me and they're like, "Oh, septum ring theory." It's like, fuck off, you dipshit. It's, it's like,
No, you see, I don't think I'm active enough right now to really get any hate comments, and I try to kill them with kindness because I appreciate someone taking the time out of their day to even watch something if they disliked it. But
that
you
is a
know,
very true thing, and that I have said that so many times to people. It's like, thank you for your engagement. Because whether
you know,
you like it or you hate it, you're still engaging with it, which means YouTube, TikTok, they will continue to push it out, even if you hate the shit. Like, keep leaving your comments. Don't stop. Right?
yeah. So and I don't let stuff like that get to me. It's just, it is what it is. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a mouth. Sometimes we shouldn't use it, but we do.
Look,
Could be worse.
honestly, Mel, like, I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again, and even chat is saying it. Like it is it impossible to hate you, man. Like, I mean, there is, like, you're too wholesome. Like, anyone that like hates on you, regardless of the reason they say it's because, like, they're just ignorant. They're ignorant bastards and idiots, because, like, there is no possible hating me is easy. Right. And I make it easy for people to hate me because I fucking hate all of you. Right. I'm not discriminatory. I hate everybody equally. Fuck all of you. So I make it very easy to hate me. But, like, it is fucking impossible.
I wouldn't say it's impossible, but my philosophy is honestly just treat, I mean, it's, everyone says this, but quite literally, treat everyone like you want to be treated.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know and then I also try to look at it this way: we all have bad days. Sometimes we lash out, and maybe you're the unfortunate recipient of that, but don't take it personally, because you never know what that person's going through.
This is true. This is true. I mean, that was a Robin Williams thing, wasn't it? Robin Williams coined that originally.
Did
I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay,
I'm
well,
pretty sure Robin Williams coined that as, like, be kind to everyone because, or something like it. Try to be kind because you don't know what other people are dealing with, or something along those
yeah.
lines. I'm pretty sure that came from him.
However, don't be a complete moron. And if someone's like KKK or something, it's okay to say you're not very good.
Yeah.
Although even then, they have their reasons. I can't think of this guy's name, but he's a polarizing figure. But he would actually speak to people who are active in the KKK, and like, hey, get to know me. Opinion changes.
Yeah.
And his name is on the tip of my tongue. But so I don't know. Maybe we all just need to speak to each other more.
To that effect, I mean, we actually watched, for the second time, Dirah and I watched American History X yesterday. That was the second time. Well, I mean, probably like the third or fourth time I've watched it, but like the second time with her. And like, I was sitting there watching it, and I was just kind of like, what happened to movies like this? Like, because the thing is like, the way that was formatted, like, I mean, there were definitely some things in there it's just like gut wrenching, right, in that film. But the idea of somebody being able, of hatred being taught, right, and being something that could be unlearned, you know what I mean? Like, the whole premise of that film, right? And now it's like we're so scared to make shit like that because it might offend people. And it's like, yeah, it was supposed to be offensive. It is an offensive movie. It's a very graphic movie, even though it's like, it's not graphic in the sense of blood and guts and stuff like that, but it's still very graphic. I mean, you watch a guy get prison raped, you watch another guy get curb stomped, like, I mean, it's graphic. It is, like, even without showing like the details of shit, it's a graphic fucking film. But it's about personal salvation. It's about it's about understanding that hatred is a learned concept and that can be unlearned, right? And like to your effect of what you're saying, right? Like even people that are ignorant and hate ignorantly, they were taught that. They learned that somewhere. And if sometimes given the right opportunity, you know, and correct circumstances, they can unlearn that hatred.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, you know, we all have choices. You choose to remain ignorant. You can choose to remain in your bubble, or you can choose not to and learn about other cultures, learn about other people, and do the scary thing and leave that bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's scary because, and that's probably why a lot of people limit themselves, because it's hard leaving your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard admitting, like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have had my viewpoint this way. And, you know, movies like American History X, great movie. It's a, as weird as it sounds, it opens the door up for conversation. And they're not going to make movies like, uh-oh, what happened?
So speaking of, like, you know, hatred, so somebody literally just came into the chat. So which one of these boneheads is the Satanist? Neither of us are Satanists. I would consider myself probably more Luciferian than anything else. But, you know, I mean, coming into a chat that aggressively, I mean, who pissed in your Cheerios this morning? Like,
Yeah, I'm Hail Satan and all, you know, praise be. You know, and all that good stuff. I mean, you know.
Oh, that's I love it. I love it.
But well, gosh darn, I lost my train of thought. Well, anyway, actually, you know what?
Ourselves out of hatred, but what? I don't know what.
I want to give you credit because you stepped out of your comfort zone and you wrote a book.
Oh, you know, I forgot we were going to talk about that. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you wrote a book, and I was, I guess, the first to read it, or maybe one of the first, if not the first. But
you and Curtis are the first. Curtis,
okay.
Because he's doing the foreword or like to the book, which hasn't been added yet. You know, so you know, but yeah, that 65 pages, and it took me what 4 years.
I mean, doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. What matters is you got it done, and it's more than what somebody in Kansas is doing who says, I want to write a book, and they haven't even put a single word on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's not an easy thing to do. And then you're talking about something and and having something speak through you that is wildly out there, but it's your truth. And, you know, how did you get over your fear and just get it done?
So I think the part that I was most afraid of putting into the book was the conversation aspect, because I'm a skeptical occultist. Like, that's the best way I know how to describe myself as an occultist, is I am a skeptical occultist. When somebody comes to me, is like, oh yeah, like I did a ritual, there's this black portal opened above my ritual, and Lucifer's hand reached out and grabbed me by the throat. It's like, oh, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, you need some Thorazine. And so that was kind of the hardest part, but it wasn't like a conversation like you and I are having a conversation, right? Like, it was, you know, automatic writing, meditation, you know, kind of having these things kind of like come into mind, you know, and then kind of like making note of them as they're going through. The automatic writing one, I think, was the weirdest one, because that was kind of like trying to go into a meditative state and just like writing shit down, right? Putting a question down and then just kind of like trying to act like I'm on acid without the acid, which is really hard, by the way. And, you know, I let things kind of come through. And so that was, I think, like if there's anything that I was actually afraid of putting in the book was that part of it. You know, and you know, I just felt like I needed to do it. Like I felt like there's something that I had that, you know, wasn't out there in the same way, and you know, I could add to the space. And so, and people obviously kept asking me, like, you know, like to, you know, like for more information on Baphomet, like in my work with Baphomet and stuff like that. And like, you know, I'm not one to kind of talk about it because like, I don't think talking about it does it justice. So it's like, all right, well, I'll write a fucking book then, you know? And so
Who says peer pressure doesn't work? Come on.
so, you know, and the problem, I think the part that made me, putting it out as 65 pages almost automatically put me at a no with Llewellyn, because I had originally sent the first draft of the manuscript to Llewellyn, and they had responded and they liked it, but they said it needed to be longer. You know, they were looking for something that's like more along the lines of about 200 pages. And so that's where you get those sections where I tried to fluff it up a little bit. Like I intentionally, yes, there are sections, and I left it in there. I left it in there because I want that to be a comment of how difficult it is for some people to do that. Like, and how I think that sometimes it's not necessary. Right. And Melvin actually comments on the fluff in his video. If you haven't seen it, it's in the community section. There's a link to the video. Go watch it, like it, subscribe to Melvin, please. Guy deserves it. Does a lot of hard work for the community, even though he's not like an occultist himself, like necessarily. You know, he does a lot of work for the community, in favor of the community, which is promoting my shit and tearing Melinda down. So, you know, and that's not because he doesn't like her. That's just because she is actually a shit writer. But, you know, so there is some sections, like even the first section, when I expanded onto the first section, there's about like 8 to 9 paragraphs of just fluffy bullshit, that like, and it just didn't feel right. Like, so I stopped doing it. I stopped going through the paragraphs and going through the chapters and adding fluff, like to expand it, right? I stopped trying to expand shit where it didn't need to be expanded. And honestly, I'm kind of coming to the point where I'm like, I'm okay with any future books that I write being just as short, because I don't think, like, I think the idea of an educational grimoire has been lost in the marketing scheme of saying that like you have a 300-400 page book. And the same thing that Melvin complained about the ritual section is the same thing that I complain about in every other book that I've read by any other occult author.
Wow.
So I feel like even though I don't want it in there, I'm going to leave it there, as a testament to why I think it's not necessary. Right? You know? So yeah, I listened to the review this morning, gave it 3 out of, yeah. Was it 3, 3.5? 3.
3.5.
3.5. Got to get that 0.5 in there, man. So, you know, and it's just like, you know, it's a first attempt, right? So,
well, you know, you learned what not to do, and it's quite honestly a really solid first attempt. It's not bad by any means. And, you know, and I know, like, don't take the star thing too seriously. Like, it's just whatever. That started off because Why did I do that? I don't know. I think I saw something with stars, and I was like, I want my own stars, and they should be red because that's my favorite color. So
No, I mean,
don't take.
I don't. I mean, I appreciate it, and you know, I'm
Yeah,
not even if somebody gave it 2 stars, it still got stars, didn't it? And
yeah,
when I say first attempt, like it's coming out as is, as Melvin read it. That's how it's coming out. There might be some spacing, some like formatting that's going to change, but as far as content wise, what Melvin wrote is going to come out as it is with the forward by Curtis Joseph.
yeah.
So, and I'll get that forward to you once that's done. Another thing I sent to Melvin, I told Melvin he has the choice of whether or not he wants to do a video on this because it's not a traditional type of book. So about 4 months ago, in about an afternoon, I wrote an entire system for life coaching, which I call Infernal Compass. People keep asking, what's Infernal Compass? Infernal Compass is a left-hand path, Jungian psychology-based life coaching that I've set up. Got a few clients so far, an app that's in development. Some people have access to it and are watching it as it grows. Melvin apparently likes the app.
Oh, very much so. It's awesome.
And so I shot that over to him because I'm just like, you know what? You've read a lot of shit. Go for it. Read it. Like, if you want to do a video on it, do a video on it. If you just want to give me some feedback on it, just give me some feedback on it. Because it's not like a traditional like type of book that you're gonna pick up and just read and stuff like that. It's a workbook. And so, but I was just curious what his thoughts were. So, if you want him to make a video on reviewing that, then spam him and ask him to do it.
Peer pressure doesn't work on me, buddy.
So, but that's completely up to him. That's completely up to him whether he does a review on it or he just kind of silently kind of like passes me a piece of paper.
Oh no, did my internet just go out?
No, I can still see you.
Oh,
you're still here.
Okay. Wow, you froze up for me.
See, for me, you're fine. I don't get it. Anyway, guys,
it reverse Uno'd.
Yep. Anyway, so speaking of notes being passed under the table, my mother-in-law just passed me a note saying it's 2:45. Well, 14:45 because they don't use 12-hour clocks, meaning finish. So because we are going out. So Melvin, thank you so much for being on, man. This is fun. I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Too bad we didn't get the alien stuff, but
I mean, you can come on whenever you want, though, man. Like, I mean, just let me know, like, when you're free and you got some free time and you want to do it again, and we'll get into the alien stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff about the aliens I'd like to talk about, but that's a whole other show.
Yeah. But thank you for having me on. I enjoy hanging out with you and just yapping, and thank you for putting up with the tech issues as well.
No, it's perfectly fine, man. It's I remember when my shit used to be the same way. So, sometimes it is. Anyway, as always, everyone, you're the reason we keep doing this stuff. You guys are fucking amazing. Love your faces, and as always, hail thy fucking self. I'll see you in the next one. Peace the fuck out.
Bye.